Hi, in this video we will talk about simplifying radicals by factoring. Whenever you have a number up under here, under your radical, the first thing you want to do is find all your prime factors of that number. So I'm going to start with 162 and find all my prime factors. I know that 162, I can certainly factor out a 2, and that'll leave me an 81. And then with 81, I know that that's 9 and 9. Okay. And then 9 and 9 I can factor into 3 times 3 and 3 times 3. So my prime factors of 162, I can actually write 162 as 2 times 3 to the 4th. Okay, so I'm just going to take that number and write it that way. And now I have c to the 4th and d to the 6th. And because I'm taking the 4th root, I can then put parentheses around that and raise everything to the 1/4 power. So then I'm going to end up with 2 to the 1/4, 3 to the 1st, because 4 times 1/4 gives me a 1, c to the 1st, because 4 times 1/4 leaves me a 1, and d to the 6/4. Okay? So anything that has a whole number as an exponent, okay, can come out front. So this is going to be 3 and a c. But notice here I have d to the 6/4, and I can actually write that as 1 and 2/4. Okay, now what is the advantage of doing that? The advantage of doing that is that now I see that I can write this as d to the 1st times d to the 2/4. Remember, whenever we multiply things with like bases, we add the exponents. 1 plus 2/4 equals 1 and 2/4. So then d actually has a whole number exponent of 1, so I can pull that out. And what goes under my radical now is going to be 2 to the 1/4 and d to the 2/4. So my denominator is 4, so I'm going to take the 4th root. And what am I left with? A 2 to the 1st, so I can just write 2, and d squared. The exponents for what's underneath my radical, or my radicand, comes from the numerator here. The denominator tells me what root I'm taking. That's why I did not reduce this down to 1/2, because I knew I had a 4th here. So I want to keep that common denominator. So that would be my answer to this one. 3cd, 4th root of 2d squared. Let's take this same rule and apply it to this other problem. Here I have 192. So let's break 192 down into its prime factors. Okay, it's going to be 2. Okay, and let's see. 96. I can break 96 down into 2 and 48. 2 and 24, 2 and 12, and 2 and 6, keep going and going, and 2 and 3. Okay, and I'm left with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is 2 to the 6th, 3 to the 1st. Okay, so all I've done is change 192 to 2 to the 6th, 3 to the 1st, x to the 17, and y to the 10. And now I'm taking the 5th root, so on the outside here, I want to write 1/5. So now I want to distribute that 1/5 to everything. I get 2 to the 6/5, 3 to the 1/5, x to the 17/5, and y to the 10/5. Okay, so now anything I can write as a whole number can come out front. 5 goes into 6 one time, so we're going to have a 1, 2 out front. Because really, think about this. This becomes 1 and 1/5. Just like I did in the last problem, I can pull a 2 out, and I'll be left with 2 to the 1/5. Can't do anything with 3 to the 1/5. This x can become x to the 3, because 5 goes into 17 3 times with 2/5 left over. All right. and the y just becomes y squared. Okay, and that's a whole number. So anything with a whole number, I can write out front. I can rewrite this x as x to the third, x to the 2/5. So anything with a whole number can come out front. 2 to the first can come out front, so I have a 2. X cubed can come out front. If it's a whole number, it can come out front. And I've got a y squared because 2 is a whole number. And now what am I going to be left with? I'm going to be left with 2 to the 1/5, 3 to the 1/5, x to the 2/5. Okay? And so all of them have a denominator of 5, so I know I'm taking my fifth root. 2 to the first, so that's just 2 raised to the first power. 3 to the first, 3 raised to the first power, and x squared. So to be more correct, this is 2x cubed y squared, the fifth root, okay, of 6x squared. I hope this helps, and hope the main thing is that you realize when you end up with your fraction, you want to write it as a mixed number. So 17 over 5 became 3 2/5, and then you can pull the whole number part out front. So the 3, the x to the third could come out front, and what goes underneath my radical is the fraction part.